Hello guys! Welcome back to my channel. At kung bago ka sa channel na to, I'm Za and this is Za Canada. Well, today we have a very controversial topic and this is a topic that is being discussed all over the country. In Canada. So ano nga ba yung pinag-uusapan na yan? Paano, imaginein mo kapag isang araw, nagulat ka na lang, lahat ng temporary foreign worker pinauwi. Walang notice, walang extension, walang appeal. Basta-basta pinauwi lang lahat. Ano ang mangyayari sa tingin nyo sa Canada? Well, yan ang pag-uusapan nating topic ngayon. Panoorin hanggang dulo. Well, first of all, I would like to thank you for all the subscribers who joined my channel and joined sa community natin. Well, today, or here in my channel, we talk about immigration updates, anything that has something to do with Filipinos here in Canada, at kung ano-ano pa. Well, going back to our topic, guys, today we're going deep. Hindi ito chismis, hindi ito hate, at hindi rin ito anti-immigrant content. Okay? Bago nyo ako i-bash. So, just so you know, this is analysis, this is real talk, at kasi marami ako nakikitang comment na ganito, na pinapalayas yung mga temporary foreign worker, ang temporary foreign worker daw, ang dahilan kung bakit may housing crisis. Ang temporary foreign worker daw ang dahilan kung bakit walang trabaho ang ibang mga Canadian. Kinukuha nila yung trabaho. Is this really true? Sa tingin nyo? So, quick refresher muna tayo. Ano nga ba ang mga temporary foreign worker? Ang temporary foreign worker ng government ng Canada ay para mag-hire ng mga workers from other countries for their local workforce. For example, we have so much temporary foreign workers in fast food, construction, healthcare, agriculture, cleaning services, and hospitality. At alam naman natin na napakadaming Pinoy dyan, napakadaming Indian, Mexican, Latin Americans, Africans, and most of them are under LMIA. As what we have mentioned in our previous vlogs, LMIA is a Labor Market Impact Assessment, which means na may process bago nila na i-hire yung mga temporary foreign worker. They look for a Canadian who is willing to apply, but if nobody applies, then they would eventually hire a foreign worker. Kumbaga, employer-driven sila. So ngayon, going back to our topic, imaginein mo kung nawala iyan. So let's just say in the food industry, like Tim Hortons, McDonald's, Subway. Sino ba nakikita niyo most of the time mga staff diyan? Especially yung mga subscribers ko o yung mga nanonood sa channel ko na nandito ngayon sa Canada. Most of the time nakikita natin mga immigrant yan. Mga temporary foreign workers, mga galing sa ibang bansa. So imaginein mo, 40 to 60% ang crew na biglang nawala. So ano mangyayari? We have reduced working hours. We have longer lines. Some stores are going to close. And owners crying in payroll. And of course, may magsasabi diyan, bakit hindi kayo mag-hire ng mga Canadian or mga permanent resident? But this is the uncomfortable truth. Let's be honest na may mga or marami diyan ayaw ng minimum wage. Ayaw nila ng graveyard shift at physically demanding jobs. And here's another scary truth. What if sa healthcare system natin na wala ang mga temporary foreign workers? na wala ang mga care aides, lab technicians, support workers, what's going to happen? The first one is longer ER wait times. Remember the vlog that we covered before about the man who died waiting in the ER, in the emergency room, waiting for someone to attend para ma-check siya o para matingnan siya. Mas maraming nurse ang mababurn out. Mas maraming hospital workers ang mababurn out kasi napakadami nilang trabaho. At maraming hospital closures sa rural areas. Walang gusto magtrabaho sa mga rural areas. And alam naman natin na ang mga rural areas dito sa Canada is yung mai-snow. And normally, yung mga tao ayaw magtrabaho dun sa mga malalamig, physically demanding job. So if you think that 8-hour wait is really bad, then try to think of 18 hours waiting period. Next thing is we go to agriculture. I have seen this vlog. Lahat sila mga Pilipino doon. Lahat sila mga temporary foreign worker doon. And pinapanood ko laging video niya. And he has been talking in that video saying that bakit hindi mag-hire ng permanent resident or ng Canadian dun sa agriculture, dun sa farm kung saan siya nagtatrabaho. May mga comment doon sa vlog niya, bakit temporary foreign worker lagi ang kinukuha? Kasi nga walang nag-i-stay, walang Canadian or permanent resident na gustong mag-stay dun sa trabaho na ginagawa nila. It's physically demanding and it's very long hours with that wage. So, kung mawawala itong mga agriculture workers na galing sa ibang bansa, then what will happen to agriculture and food supply impact? First is crops will rot. Mabubulok lang. Next, farms will lose millions and food prices go higher. So imaginein mo, kung onti yung kung onti yung supply, kasi nga, kapag onti ang supply, which means na onti lang yung pwede magtrabaho dun sa farm, di ba? Hindi mo naman pwedeng lahat pagawa sa iilan na tao lang. Siyempre, mas maraming pagkain ang kailangan, mas maraming tao rin ang kailangan gumawa. Paano pag wala pa lang nag-a-apply? At paano kung walang temporary foreign worker? So, the food prices will go higher. So again, agriculture work here is sometimes seasonal. So normally naman yung mga ibang Canadians or permanent resident, they don't like seasonal jobs. They'd like permanency. Sino ba naman ang gusto kasi ng seasonal? But most of them, kaya yung kinakagat ng temporary foreign worker, in order for them to have at least a way to get inside Canada and sooner or later find something permanent. Same thing. So seasonal agriculture work is seasonal, physical, brutal, and in remote locations. So hindi glamorous. Hindi glamorous ang job ng isang agriculture worker dito. Hindi rin aesthetic, 'di ba? Kung mawawala ang supply or kung mababawasan ang supply ng pagkain, then ang inflation, syempre, mas tataas. And when it comes to construction and housing crisis, well, here's the irony. Sino ba ang gumagawa ng mga houses na nandito ngayon? Meron nga kaming kapitbahay dito na ginagawa yung house. Tinitingnan ko yung mga worker nila. And most of them, actually all of them, are temporary foreign workers. Kasi they are the one who are building houses here dito sa Canada. Kung bigla silang nawala, kung biglang nawala ang mga temporary foreign workers, again, there will be fewer houses built, slow projects, more shortage, and higher prices. Well, let's talk about the economic ripple effect. What will happen to the economy of Canada if all of these temporary foreign workers suddenly go home? Then, temporary foreign workers, let's just discuss first that temporary foreign workers pay their taxes, pay rent, buy groceries, send remittance. And if we remove them, or if the government suddenly remove us from Canada, then there will be lesser tax revenue, less consumption, small businesses are going to be affected, GDP impact, definitely negative short term. Magka-collapse ba si Canada? Syempre hindi. Pero, makakasakit? Absolutely. Okay? So, yan ang mangyayari. And the real issue is, what exactly is the problem with temporary foreign workers right now? Ano nga ba ang hindi masyadong pinag-uusapan talaga sa temporary foreign worker? The first one is wage suppression. There are so much temporary foreign worker that are not being given their salary, their right salary. Walang OT, walang OT pay, walang leave. Minsan nadi-delay pa yung mga sahod. Next is corporate reliance on cheap labor. There are so much company naman na sobrang gahaman nila sa temporary foreign worker. What they do is instead of them giving this amount of salary, they only give this. Kasi nga kailangan ng temporary foreign worker ng trabaho. So, kailangan siguro ng mas matibay na batas na pinaprotektahan yung tamang pagbibigay ng salary sa bawat isang temporary foreign worker. And next is lack of housing planning. Lack of housing planning is maybe before they hire a temporary foreign worker, they make sure that that particular family has a house or a home as soon as they land here in Canada. Well, going back sa Brunei lang nung na-hire kami as a temporary foreign worker, the employer made sure that we have a house. May tinitiran kami. May matitiran yung temporary foreign worker. And that is actually something that I didn't see here in Canada. Or probably kasi they leave it to the temporary foreign worker to find the house on their own. Maybe if there is a strong law wherein they could at least plan where to put all of these people. Kasi nga ang nangyayari last time, especially for international students, is sa sobrang dami nilang kinuhang international students last time, there were housing crisis kasi nga hindi nila na-foresee yung dami ng mga estudyante. Siguro, if they can probably insert it into one of their, or probably build a system wherein one temporary foreign worker or one international student might need to have a house on his own bago pa siya lumipad or bago pa ma-aprobahan ng kanyang visa or a work permit rather or student permit. 'Di ba? And isa pa dyan is yung slow immigration processing. I know that there are so much backlogs nowadays at hindi mo rin naman masisi ang gobyerno kasi nga napakadaming nag-file ng asylum. Especially for those people who are losing or about to lose their status here in Canada. So the only way for them, in order for them to extend their stay, is to file an asylum claim. And I know that blaming workers is easy. But let's be real that fixing system is harder. Temporary foreign workers are not villains, but neither the system is perfect. Okay? And the truth, or those truth, can exist at the same time. So, ano nga ba talaga ang mangyayari kapag pinauwi lahat ang temporary foreign worker? The short answer is shock, economic slowdown, labor shortage crisis, service disruptions, and higher prices. Okay? Long term, Canada would adjust, but it would not be painless. So, and if you are a temporary foreign worker who's watching this, you are not a problem. You are filling a gap. Now, the real question is, should Canada reduce temporary foreign worker intake or fix employer dependency? Ano ba talaga ang kailangang i-fix ng immigration natin dito sa Canada? So comment below what is your thought about this topic. And kung nagustuhan nyo to, if you like this video, please like and subscribe into my channel. Okay? At laging tatandaan, hindi kailangang maraming pera, basta may peace of mind. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time. Bye-bye.